Hey, welcome to Dino Reacts. Right here we have a clip of Joe Biden at the G7 summit. All right, I heard he did some old man types of stuff. So, as always, let's get after it.
CNN's contributor Joe Concha. So, Joe, it's great to see you again. It's always a pleasure to have you on. So, Joe, we've got media and critics also calling out Biden again, looking infirm and confused. Let's show the video coming in from overseas at the G7 in Italy. Joe, it's painful to watch the president awkwardly salute the Italian prime minister. It's painful to watch Italy's prime minister having to pull Biden back to a group get-together after he wandered off.
Wow. I mean, just look at that. He's just going and drifting in another direction while all the other leaders are staying in the same place. And I think you see the Italian prime minister here have to kind of bring him back the way, sometimes my son, when we're at an amusement park, will kind of wander off if he sees some balloons. I'm looking at the same kind of reaction there. And you got to love it, Liz, when we hear from those in the White House where they say, or even some in the media for that matter, when they say behind closed.
Bro, look at him. Is he even real? He looks like a fucking robot mannequin. I don't know I don't understand. You ever watch The Simpsons? You remember, I forgot the Grandpa Simpsons. That's who he reminds me of. It's just like, you know what? Grandpa's driving the car. He's not running the country. There's people behind him running the country, and that's why the country's falling apart. Because this country is being ran by imbeciles. Everywhere things are just falling apart. Inflation is high. I make really good money and I can barely afford to live. Can you believe that? I make good money. And it's tough to live. In California, it's crazy. And then you have this guy, and all he's doing is pushing so much progressive stuff that doesn't proceed to anything. And then he goes on the world stage and the leaders are like, yeah, we finally got our puppet in the White House. We'll get this guy to fund anything. And I just found out recently that he agreed to a 10-year funding to Ukraine. And then on top of all that, and I blame this on the House Republicans. I know it's going to die in the Senate. If ever I wanted to say, thank the Senate for anything, is that they're trying to put for an enlistment from 18 to 26 of all men. Where's the equality of that? Where's women? Women serve in the Army too. Why can't it be registered for them too? What's going on with this country right now? Are we literally trying to sabotage the country on purpose? Are we trying to start major infighting on purpose? Because it's not going to go well.
Doors. Joe Biden, he's as sharp as a tack, right? He's solving quadratic equations and explaining the space-time continuum to everyone in the room. He's basically John Nash. But then you see Biden in public, as we see here, and you're thinking this person shouldn't even be, a golf starter at the local county golf course. I mean, let alone the president of the United States and commander of our armed forces. And as this pertains to the election, Liz, Biden has to overcome three impressions that are almost impossible to reverse. He has to overcome the perception that he's too old and too mentally far gone for the job. He has to overcome the perception that he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to the economy. And he has to overcome the fact that the country, in terms of all these protests and the world in general, is far less stable than it was before he became president. And that's why, as it stands right now, Liz, Biden is clearly the underdog and Trump the favorite to win on November 5th if Joe Biden is the nominee at this point. And you got to wonder when you see video like this.
Yeah, and when you see, for example, a new CBS poll, 65% of voters say Biden does not have the cognitive ability to serve as president, that he doesn't have the mental fitness to serve again. So we have the fallout of the House holding A.G. Garland in contempt for basically defying its subpoena to turn over Biden's audio-taped interview with special counsel Hur in the classified documents case. I mean, the AG basically telling Congress he's above the law because Biden is signing executive privilege. So, Joe, to your point, if everything's okay with Joe Biden, then just turn over the audio. And if everything's okay and he's mentally fit, then he should be prosecuted for classified documents, that controversy.
Let's see, and that's the hypocrisy that the media never talks about. You're going to get that information on Twitter, but he did the exact same thing. And then they said he is not fit to go to prison, but they want to put Trump in prison. They say Trump does not have cognitive abilities, but they want to put him in prison. And This is the rules for thee, not for me. I know I've said this before. And then Merrick Garland, one of the best things that ever happened to him not being on the Supreme Court. I tell you now, because he completely does not give a care. They all roll with the World Economic Forum. There's this little short guy in the World Economic Forum, little shay homosexual guy that really is pushing dictatorship, global world dictatorship. And I hate when I forget names. That's the whole thing, man. I'm doing all the crazy research and forgetting names. But I'm pretty sure somebody can put that out in the comments for me. But like, they're all working together to they want to topple America first and turn us into the leaders of the world government and use our military to conquer the world. You know what I'm saying? Not the U.S. presidency, but the world government using our military to conquer the world. They've already infiltrated it everywhere. It's going to be a really tough bet for Donald Trump to get these people out of the government. But I got a feeling that as a businessman, he has a plan. And also, if he wants my help, I'll gladly put these guns to work for you, Donald. I come out there for you. I help you out real quick. But Merrick Garland, nah. What I believe is, I'm just speaking from like, from my opinion, that he sounded real old and derelict in those videotapes, in those audio tapes. Just like the destroying of all the January 6th committee in the House of Representatives, destroying all the evidence. It's the same thing with Hun and him not getting the subpoena for these tapes. And he's supposed to answer to Congress, but he's not, because the three letters of government don't answer to Congress anymore. That's why when Donald Trump gets it, he's going to have a tough job. But I'd say it all starts with the head. Chop their head off, get him out, and then we'll start working trickle down to figure out who was also. I think they're going to destroy evidence. They're going to burn things to the ground. They're probably going to trash the office. There's so many things that are going to happen when Donald Trump becomes president that we got a long way to go, folks. And this ain't looking good. We need term limits. We need age restrictions.
And, misusing it, rather holding on to U.S. secrets.
6 words, Liz. What do you have to hide, right, at this point? I mean, Merrick Garland is proving to be Eric Holder 2.0. You remember what Holder said during the Obama administration when he served as Attorney General, Liz, that he was Obama's wingman, which at last check is not the role of an Attorney General. And now Garland is Biden's wingman. Yep. Because to your point, ask yourself this question. Why is he bending over backwards to make sure this tape does not see the light of day? Is it really that bad? Because we already know that Biden couldn't remember the years he was vice president. And that was only 8 years, nor the year when his son died. So Donald Trump talks about the swamp. He's talking about guys like Garland, who are not doing their jobs and see everything through a political prism in an effort to maintain and expand their own power in Washington, all while prosecuting Trump, by the way, over crimes in Manhattan that no one can quite define.
Why do all the liberals look so soy, man? I don't understand, man. Why they look so soy? They don't look like they can bust a grape in a fruit fight, man. None of them. They look like they're keyboard warriors in real life. Like, without some kind of oof behind them, like protecting their back. These guys ain't got no square on them, man. I don't understand why. I'm tired of seeing weak men in the media. I'm tired of it. Ugh.
Or explain. But you know what? It's backfiring at this point, Liz. Just look at the polls. No bounce for Biden after that conviction.
Let's listen to the president today. He appeared to be against slurring his words. And then let's listen to CNN's Jake Tapper tell Democrat Dan Goldman there's no basis for them not to turn over that audio tape. Watch this.
I got criticized at home for asking when the federal government invested something that discourage or encourage private sector to invest. 96% of people ask that encourages investment, not discourages investment. It attracts investment.
The hell is he talking about?
But there's really no basis for the Justice Department to not give the audio recordings to Congress either. 3 of the last 5 attorneys general have been found in contempt of Congress. A citizen who doesn't have a dog in the fight might say, it seems to me as though the legislative branch is trying to do oversight of the executive branch, and the executive branch keeps giving whoever's in charge of Congress, the executive branch consistently gives the finger to the House. Yeah. I assume you don't see it that way, but there is a consistency in these 3 contempt of Congress votes.
We should point out 8 media outlets, CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, the Associated Press, the Wall Street Journal, Reuters, Washington Post, all sued to get that audio. Don't the American people need to have and know for informed consent in order to vote?
We were told, Liz, that this was going to be one of the most, if not the most transparent administration of our lifetimes.
It's not.
And instead, it's the plead the fifth administration, right? But whether it be the fact that we never see Joe Biden doing a solo press conference, you'll find Jimmy Hoffa in front of a microphone taking real questions before you see Biden do that. So, yeah, transparency. It's definitely at a premium when it comes to the Biden White House, Liz.
Joe Concha, you're terrific. Good to have you on.
Man, I don't really know what's going on with this country right now, man. You know, I see everything falling apart. I see the strength of this country leaving, and everything that represents strength is being persecuted and torn down. They're destroying everything. All of my childhood dreams, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, everything, man, Marvel, everything. Anything that represented any type of level of just pure, unadulterated, protective masculine is being supplanted for this bodyguard provider masculine, where I don't need you for anything, just to be some oath to just protect me in case somebody says something to me, or make a lot of money, get married to me so I can take half of it. But there's no intrinsic love in this society, and I think it's all coming out of the progressives. The progressives want to progress into the suicide of masculinity, and I'm not here for that. And then watching these people just abuse an old man like Biden like that. He's like a derelict old man, and these evil progressives, man, really, really want to just prop him up there while they destroy the country in the background. To the point where, like, U-turn signs are now gay. I don't get it. I'm confused. But I'm going to fight, and I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to be a part of this movement to get America back on track. Strong Men 2024, Trump 2024, MAGA 2024. We're going to keep this going, and we're going to do the best we can to make sure we get this country back in order. So the best thing we can do is get out there and vote, because Biden cannot be back in office for many reasons. For our future, our sons, our daughters, and just to stop the media from pushing so much perversion into American culture. It's not even worth it. So everybody, make sure you guys get out there and vote, because this is the most important election of our lifetimes. Please pay attention. The country's at stake. Trump 2024. Ooh, here we go again. Thank you guys again for watching Dino Reacts. And as always, if you like my content, like, comment, and subscribe. And always, chef's kiss. Mwah.